We'll be happy to address that with our top market experts who will be joining in shortly. In case you're with us on our YouTube channel, Business Today, then you need to go to Daily Calls Live. Use the comment section there to send me your questions. I'll be happy to address all of that with our top market experts who join in shortly as well. Now, let's look at the markets as we are approaching the half-time trade. Remember, after the sharp sell-off in last afternoon's trading session, we have seen a sharp rebound today. The markets have climbed back and are not paying too much heed to the Trump threat that's coming in this time around. So again, looking at the taco trade playing out, we are back up above 24,000 odd mark, 0.7% of gains that can be seen on the Nifty. You're also looking at several sectors that are supporting the momentum. Look at the real estate sector. That's the top moving sectoral index right now on the markets. You can clearly see a near 3% kind of a move on the real estate pack, 2.8% higher. You're also looking at the broader markets, so the small caps are doing very well. You're looking at about a 1.7% kind of a move on that one. Mid caps are also up 1.5%. Apart from this, you're looking at PSU banks, FMCG, you also have pharma index that's doing well at this point in time. Barring IT sector, rest all of the pockets are in fact doing better. We are also seeing a sharp reversal of trade on India Wix. Remember, India Wix had sharply moved up 26% higher yesterday. It's, of course, seen some kind of a rebound there. So about a 10% weakness now coming in on India Wix. It's back at 13.1 odd level. So some cool off coming in as far as the Wix is concerned. Let's actually welcome our guest on board. We have Nilesh Jain joining in from Centrum Broking with a fresh take on the markets. Welcome to you, Nilesh. Good to have you with us. Well, of course, what played out in last afternoon trade and this morning, one needs to really figure out, are these just as these options to be taken just as a trader's best bet, or are these, situations when one has to be very cautious in the market? And what's your overall outlook?
Very good afternoon, Sakshi. Well, absolutely. Yesterday was a kind of carnage that we have seen in the market. And so if you see volatility index India weeks, where we have seen a sharp spike in yesterday's trading session where it surged more than 25% in an intraday trade and surpassed 15 level as well. But today, good part is that the VIX is cooled off already by 10%. And that is giving some bit of a confidence back to the bulls. And even if you see in Nifty and Bank Nifty, in fact, across all the broader markets indices as well, we are witnessing a kind of a pullback trade today. So with this pullback, Nifty has reclaimed its 100-day moving average, which was acting as a stiff resistance, which is placed at 24,050. Now from here, if Nifty closes above 24,050, that will be considered as a positive close, and we can expect a follow-up more on the upside towards 24,200, 24,300 once again. So looks like this pullback rally is likely to continue. Similarly, in the Bank Nifty as well, we are expecting this pullback to continue towards 57,800 to 58,000. So overall, we are still in the buy and decline market, and stock-specific action is something that one should focus on. And the bias remains on a positive side on declines.
Okay, so the bias remains positive sides on the declines as far as the market is concerned. Let's now start taking your queries as well, Nilesh. We have a lot of our viewers joining in. So let's welcome all of them and we'll start taking some questions there. The first one comes in from Ashish from Mumbai. He says, I want to know about Arvind Limited. I have 100 shares of this stock in my portfolio. I bought it at the level of 575. And what's the outlook, especially for the next 6 months on Arvind Limited? How would you address this one?
Well, very strong chart pattern. I would say it has been trading in a height of an Abatum formation structure. Now, the recent correction has given a good opportunity if somebody is looking to make a fresh entry. But looking from a positional perspective, the counter has a potential to surpass 600 level, and in the near term, it can move towards 700 plus as well. So yes, it can be accumulated on declines. It has a very strong support at somewhere around 480. So that should be a stop loss. From a positional perspective, we are expecting a gradual uptick towards 600 to 700.
Okay, got that. I hope that this has also helped you out. Let's take the next one then. This one is from one of our viewers on our WhatsApp. This is Kalpesh Kacharia from Mumbai. He says, I have a short position for July futures and I'm looking at shorting Bank Nifty at 58,000. Do you think a possibility of a downside of anywhere between 55,000 to 54,000 can be seen in July series?
Looking at the broader structure, that kind of a fall looks difficult, where Bank Nifty is looking like some bit of consolidation mode. It has a very strong support at 57,000 followed by 56,500. So there are multiple supports in place. We may see some bit of consolidation with negative bias, but not expecting that kind of a sharp sell-off in the July series as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. Although the structure is looking sideways to weak, as I mentioned. So if you see any pullback towards 58,000, 58,500, you can use that pullback to initiate a sell position, short position, maybe for the target lower side of 57,000 to 56,500. Or in the worst case scenario, we may see Bank Nifty moving towards 56,000 as well. But as mentioned, 56,000 is a crucial support and 59,000 is a strong resistance. So that's the broader 3,000 point range for the Bank Nifty.
Okay, let's take the next one then. This one is from one of our viewers on our YouTube who wants to know about Berger Paints. He has this stock at 552 in his portfolio and wants to know what is the outlook on this one. We've seen some cool off on the crude oil prices from its peak, but yet the space is still very volatile. How would you look at paint majors like Berger Paints in that scenario?
Well, Berger Paint is not looking that attractive. If you look at the broader sectorial perspective, Asian Paint is still comparatively better, space counter where one can look at. But as far as Berger Paint is concerned, 480 is a very strong support now. Keeping that as a stop loss, one can stay put and expect a pullback move towards 520, 540. If you get the levels of 540 or maybe above that, then use that pullback to exit. So in the near term, this particular space is likely to remain volatile. So exit on pullback should be the strategy.
Okay, let's take the next query. This one is from one of our viewers again. This is Satya who says, Hi Sakshi, good afternoon. Physics Wala I bought recently at 122. Please guide me as to when should I look at booking profit. I can actually hold for long term if it is advised as well. Yes, Physics Wala has had a decent run up in the recent past. Your suggestion now, Nilesh, whether one should look at as an opportunity to book out of Physics Wala shares now or should one stay put for long term?
Right. So PWL, if you look at this particular counter, which is trading at 148 now, we have seen a very strong rebound from the levels of 78, 80, where we have seen a very good base formation happening in Physics Wala Limited, this particular counter. So yes, stay put in your existing long position. The setup has already turned positive. We are expecting a follow-up on the upside to continue towards 160 to 170 in the near term. So the broader sector has turned positive. Stay put in this particular counter, keeping a trailing stop loss at 138.
Okay. GD Rao from Andhra Pradesh writes in the next query. He says, I have 60,000 rupees. Can I invest that in fractal analytics or in KIMS? Or would you suggest any better stock than these two? I have a 6 months time horizon. He's chosen two completely different sectors for these stocks. One is fractal analytics, which is of course does not have a very long term history, but has been in focus ever since the time it got listed because of the AI play that it has. Today also the stock is up by about 3% at 844. And Kim's Hospital, of course, we know from the healthcare space. How are you looking at both these stocks and where do you see opportunity, better opportunity in the next 6 months?
Well, out of these two, I think one should go with Kims because Kims has a very strong setup. Recently, we saw a fresh breakout, a multi-month breakout that came from the levels of 790. But once again, with the profit taking, the counter has retested those levels. So the setup is looking strong in Kims for upside move towards 900 plus in the near term, or maybe 1000 kind of levels can be seen going forward. So Kims can be a good option compared to fractal where the setup is looking weak. So fractal one can avoid, but yes, schemes one can go long, buy in a staggered manner in this particular counter, keeping a stop loss below 750. In the near term, 900 to 1000 kind of levels one can expect.
Okay, got that. I hope that this has advised you well. Let's take the next query. This one is from Vinita Gupta. She says, good afternoon to both of you. Good afternoon to you also, Vinita. Hope you're well. The question she has is on Bank of Maharashtra and Bank of Baroda, both from the PSU banking space, and to find out whether these current levels are offering any opportunity to accumulate these two stocks. She's not mentioned her earlier purchase price, but do you think even for somebody who's looking at a fresh at these levels, these PSU banks should be looked at?
One was Bank of Maharashtra, the other was Bank of Baroda,
Bank of
right? So,
Baroda, correct.
right. So, both the counter, in fact, you need to look at this particular space. In between, recently we saw a very good momentum that has come back in the banking space, specifically in the private sector banks. But PSU Bank still a laggard. It has underperformed throughout the July series so far, in the June series as well. Towards the end, we have seen some bit of corrections coming back. So I believe this particular space is likely to remain under pressure going forward as well. As far as Maharashtra Bank is concerned, it has a support at 78. That should be a stop loss. And Bank of Baroda has given a breakdown from the levels of 250. So till the time it doesn't reclaim 250, the setup is looking slightly on a negative side. So one can keep a trailing stop loss now at 238 and stay put for a pullback trade maybe towards 250, 255.
Okay, let's take the next question. This one is again from one of our viewers who's joining in on our YouTube channel as well live. We have Tulsi writing in. She says, "Hi sir, Unimec Aerospace में 1225 की बाइंग है, कैसे देखते हैं आप इस शेयर को?"
देखिए सेटअप थोड़ा सा पॉजिटिव साइड में टर्न हो रहा है। आईपीओ के आने के बाद यहाँ पर काफी लंबे समय से करेक्शन हमने देखा था एंड नाउ थिंग्स आर इम्प्रूविंग। सो ग्रेजुअल अपटिक यहाँ पर एक्सपेक्ट करके चल सकते हैं। 1100 का सपोर्ट है, वहां पर आपको स्टॉप लॉस रखना होगा और यहाँ से जो ग्रेजुअल रिकवरी है इस काउंटर को 1250 इमीडिएट बेसिस पे और इन द नियर टर्म 1300 से 1350 तक के लेवल देखने को मिल सकते हैं।
Okay, got that. Let's take Kaushik Rana's question next. He says, "Hi, good afternoon to both of you. Good afternoon to you also, Mr. Rana." He says, "Polycab में सर क्या करना चाहिए? 4752 पर मैंने खरीदा है. What should I do with the stock now?"
4750 I think bought it at a very lower level a long time back, काफी लंबे समय से होल्ड कर रहे हैं और ऑलरेडी यहाँ पर काउंटर डबल हो चुका है इनके
जी।
खरीदारी के बाद से। तो काफी अच्छी खरीदारी के लेवल से इनके तो यहाँ पर बने रहे। एक ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस यहाँ पर सजेस्ट करूंगा क्योंकि काउंटर में रिसेंटली ऊपरी स्तर से थोड़ा करेक्शन देखने को मिल रहा है। 8700 का ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस लगाएं। जब तक वो लेवल इंटैक्ट है यहाँ पर एक पुल बैक ट्रेड फिर से हमें देखने को मिल सकता है। लॉन्गर टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव से 1 साल के ऊपर का नजरिया है तो यहाँ पर बने रहने की सलाह।
ओके, साहिल का नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, ये टीसीएस के ऊपर आपसे पूछ रहे हैं कि 2500 के लेवल में इन्होंने एंट्री किया है टीसीएस में और अब यहाँ पर क्या आगे एक्सपेक्टेशन है स्टॉक प्राइस की? आज टीसीएस के नंबर्स भी आने वाले हैं शाम को और इसके पहले हमने देखा है कि काफ़ी वॉलेटिलिटी है आईटी स्टॉक्स में। फिलहाल आप टीसीएस के ऊपर क्या व्यू रखते हैं? ऑलरेडी ये शेयर ईयर टू डेट लेवल्स पर 36% नीचे आ चुका है, अपने ऑल टाइम पीक से तो और भी ज़्यादा डाउन है। तो अभी करंट लेवल से क्या उम्मीद है? और 2500 पे जिन्होंने लिया हुआ है वो 2000 के लेवल्स देकर पूछ रहे हैं, क्या ये लेवल्स आने में कितना टाइम लगेगा?
बिल्कुल साक्षी, बिल्कुल ठीक कहा आपने। 36% के आसपास का करेक्शन इस कैलेंडर ईयर में हम फिलहाल देख चुके हैं। सेटअप अभी भी वीक लग रहा है। नॉट ओनली टीसीएस, अगर निफ्टी आईटी इंडेक्स का ब्रॉडर सेटअप देखिए तो कंटिन्यूसली लोअर टर्म एंड लोअर टर्म फॉर्मेशन बनते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं और सेटअप देखिए ये लग रहा है कि अगर कोई पुल बैक इन बिटवीन आता है वो भी सस्टेनेबल नहीं होगा क्योंकि द ब्रॉडर स्ट्रक्चर है वो थोड़ा सा नेगेटिव साइड में। तो यहाँ पर इनकी खरीदारी काफी ऊपरी स्तरों की। अगर लॉन्गर टर्म पर्सपेक्टिव 1-2 साल का नजरिया है तो यहाँ पर बने रह सकते हैं क्योंकि एक वैल्यू बाइंग अपॉर्चुनिटी गोइंग फॉरवर्ड यहाँ पर देखने को मिल सकती है। और जैसे कि आपने कहा नंबर्स हैं, नंबर्स के आ जाने के बाद यहाँ पर थोड़ी सी बेटर क्लैरिटी हमें देखने को मिलेगी। बट फिलहाल के लिए अगर ये होल्ड करना चाहते हैं तो 1900 का स्टॉप लॉस लगाएं और पोजिशनल पर्सपेक्टिव से भी अगर 1 साल के ऊपर का नजरिया है तो यहाँ पर बने रहे।
ठीक है, नेक्स्ट हमारे पास सवाल आया है, ये है सिद्धार्थ का नोएडा से। ये आपसे पूछना चाह रहे हैं दो स्टॉक्स के बीच में चुनाव, डिलीवरी के शेयर्स जो कि लॉजिस्टिक्स कंपनी है और दूसरा रेट गेन, दोनों में से पूछना चाहते हैं टेक्निकल सेटअप किस शेयर का बेहतर है और विच वन इज द राइट काउंटर टू एंटर फॉर नेक्स्ट 2 मंथ्स परस्पेक्टिव। तो एक शॉर्ट टर्म ट्रेडिंग के लिए आपसे पूछना चाह रहे हैं डिलीवरी का स्ट्रक्चर बेटर है या रेट गेन का?
देखिए दोनों ही स्टॉक का सेटअप पॉजिटिव है। सबसे पहले डिलीवरी जो हमने हमारे क्लाइंट को भी खरीदारी करने की सलाह दी हुई है 490 से यहाँ पर हमारी लॉन्ग पोजीशन इंटैक्ट है। हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं 540-550 तक के लेवल यहाँ पर देखने को मिल सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पर सेटअप स्ट्रॉन्ग है। रेट गेन का भी सेटअप काफी पॉजिटिव है क्योंकि यहाँ पर एक मल्टी मंथ मल्टी ईयर ब्रेकआउट रिसेंटली 900 के लेवल से देखने को मिला है। तो यहाँ पर भी करंट लेवल पर रिस्क एंड रिवॉर्ड फेवरेबल है क्योंकि 880 890 के स्टॉप लॉस से करंट लेवल पर भी लॉन्ग पोजीशन बना के चल सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट 2 मंथ्स के पर्सपेक्टिव से आई थिंक काउंटर हैज अ पोटेंशियल टू मूव टुवर्ड्स 1050 और 1100। सो ये लेवल्स गोइंग फॉरवर्ड देखने का मिल सकते हैं। तो दोनों ही स्टॉक्स में मे बी दोनों ही स्टॉक्स में इक्वल अमाउंट ऑफ पोजीशन बना के चल सकते हैं। अगर कंपैरेटिवली बेटर स्ट्रक्चर की बात करें तो रेट गेन हैज अ बेटर स्ट्रक्चर।
Rate gain has a better structure. Okay. Ravi Kalra from Delhi writes and says, Hi Sakshi, good afternoon. How are you? I'm very well. Thank you so much, Ravi, for asking, and I hope the same for you. He wants to know from you, Nilesh ji, about PPL Pharma. He's holding 5,000 units at 170 levels. For the next 6 months, what is your overall outlook on PPL Pharma?
Well, overall outlook is not looking that great. The counter is constantly facing resistance at its 200-day long-term moving average. So even if you see pullback, that pullback may get arrested somewhere around 190 to 200. So that's a strong resistance zone for this particular counter. At current level, one can stay put, keeping a stop loss below 160. That's the 100-day moving average support. With an expectation of a pullback move towards 190 to 200, but not expecting any major upside until it breaks 200 on the upside.
ओके, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन लेते हैं। ये सवाल हमारे पास आया है एक और हमारे दर्शक का, मिर्ज़ा यामीन, ये नागपुर से हैं और लिखते हैं, हाय साक्षी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ ओवरऑल सोलर स्पेस के स्टॉक्स के ऊपर। महाराष्ट्र इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बोर्ड हैज़ एडेड अननेसेसरी टैक्सेस ऑन सोलर कंज्यूमर्स एंड ग्रिड चार्जेस, सो व्हाट विल बी द इम्पैक्ट ऑन सोलर रिलेटेड स्टॉक्स, एंड should I exit from my current positions in Tata Power and Adani Power? That's the clear question coming in. Let me also pull up the news flow that he's talking about, and get you an overall understanding on Tata Power and Adani Power. These are always looked at as the leaders of the pack when it comes to power, renewable energy space stocks as well. Looking at the current structure, if you can tell us, is there any sort of a worry in the immediate term that you see on the charts particularly?
Well, Sakshi, technically speaking, in fact, power energy related counters still looks better place from a positional perspective. Let's say 1 year plus kind of time frame. I think this can be treated as an opportunity in strong uptrend, and quite possible that it may consolidate further because the stocks have run up quite a lot in the recent times. So there may be possibility of some bit of a time wise as well as price wise correction in the near term, maybe for 2 to 3 months perspective. But if somebody is looking for 1 year plus kind of a time frame, I think this should be treated merely as a correction in the bull market. But short term trend looks negative, longer term, medium to longer term perspective looks positive. So one should take a call accordingly. If bought it earlier and still in profit, then I'll suggest to take out the profit off the table as of now.
Okay, I think the news flow that you're talking about dates back to April of 2026, when you are talking about the Maharashtra government's move to examine imposing an electricity duty on rooftop solar self-generated power, which has raised some concerns among consumers and industry stakeholders, with experts warning that the proposal could significantly increase the electricity costs and erode the financial benefits of going solar as well. But looking at the current prospects, as Nilesh has already advised you on particular stocks that you're looking at as to what is the outlook on both these stocks. I hope this has given you some clarity. Let's move on to the next question. This one we'll take from our YouTube viewers as well. A lot of our new viewers are also joining in. Rohit Jain wants to know about Affle India. 1050 is his purchase price. What should he be doing on Affle?
1050, am I
Yeah,
correct? That's the
that's
purchase
right.
price? Yes.
Yeah, the
So
stock is at 1474, so he's in good profits.
exactly, it's in very good profit. So stay put at current level, keep a trailing stop loss now at 1390. And I think the stock can gradually move towards 1560 to 1620 in the near term. So the setup looks sideways as of now, but not looking bad. So keep a trailing stop loss and stay put in this particular counter.
Let's take the next query. This one is from Raju Tiwari, who says, I want a view on Jammu and Kashmir Bank. I want to check whether there is any more steam left or should I book out completely. I'm actually sitting on a good 75% gain, but I still want to know whether this is the right time to book out my profits. First up, congratulations to you, Raju, for good set of profits that you're getting on the counter Jammu and Kashmir Bank. Let's try and understand whether there is any more steam left on the charts that you see, Nilesh here.
Well, looking at the momentum, I think there is some more room left on the upside. The counter made a new high in the year 2014. That was somewhere around 188. So there is still possibility that counter may retest those levels once again. So 180 plus kind of levels one can expect, but ideally, one should keep booking profit at a regular interval. So at current level, he can probably to book out 50% of the profit, and rest 50% can ride maybe towards 180 to 190 in the near term.
Okay, let's take the next query. And this one is from Sumit Lakhar. He says, I have a question from a long-term perspective. Which stock will be a better choice? Tata Steel or IRB Infrastructure? I would appreciate Nilesh sir's view on this. I want to invest for the long term. My investment would be around 50 to 60,000 rupees here.
Well, comparatively, if you are looking at margin of safety and also looking at the brand, then I'll suggest to go with Tata Steel, because metal space is something that we continues to remain bullish, and this correction, in fact, is giving you a good opportunity to start accumulating metal counter at a lower level. So going forward, we can expect another leg on the upside in the metal counter. So Tata Steel could be a better option. Whereas on the other end, if you see IRB Infra, this particular counter has been under pressure since a long time. In fact, in last 2 years, the counter has constantly gone down. Maybe in term of price, it may be available at a very good corrected level, but the momentum is not there, and quite possible that it may correct further. So better, avoid IRB for the time being, and one can go with Tata Steel.
Okay. Next, we have a question from Ankur Modi. He says, Hi Sakshi, hope you're doing great. Thank you so much, dear Ankur. Yes, I'm doing well, and I hope the same for you. The question he has is on K Fintech. He says the stock has come off its peak. What should I do? Should I buy right now?
Purely from a trading perspective, if you are looking for, let's say, 1 or 2 week kind of time frame, then yes, a quantum bet can be taken with a stop loss below 825 for a pullback trade, maybe towards 920, 950, or in the best case scenario, it can move to 1000 level as well. So yes, from a trading perspective, short-term pullback perspective, there is a trade, but longer-term perspective, I think this again comes under IT space somewhat. So better to stay cautious on pullbacks, but yes, a pullback can be traded at current level.
All right, let's take the next question. This is Kamlesh Narkhere asking you, Nilesh, that sir, please advise me on Kirloskar oil. कितने लेवल पर इसे बाय करना चाहिए? ऑलरेडी किर्लोस्कर ऑयल में पिछले 1 से 3 महीने में अगर आप देखेंगे तो किस तरीके का मूव देखने को मिला है, आपको अपने चार्ट्स पर ही नजर आ जाएगा. इनफैक्ट द एंटायर ग्रुप हैज बीन इन फोकस फॉर द लास्ट कपल ऑफ मंथ्स एंड there's been a re-rating of sorts for the entire space and the group stocks as well. Leading the rally is of course Kirloskar oil. Today also the stock is up by 4.5%. Let's pull up the last 1 month chart for all our viewers to see. The stock currently is at 2379, and this chart will help you understand how the stock has moved up in the last 1 month. About 28.5% kind of a rally has come in. Let's stretch the charts and see even bigger time frame to see how the stock has really remarkably increased investors' wealth over the last 6 months to 1 year. Multi-bagger returns over the last 1 year, 186% of a rally has been seen. Now, every time the question comes in, Nilesh, that, when you see such dramatic past performance, should one really take a pick and look at, such stocks? Or do you think there is a period of cool-off that happens when one has already seen a sharp rally?
A very good question, I would say. See, Kirloskar Engineering, a very good setup. As you rightly pointed out, it has already become a multi-bagger. This year to date so far, it has given 100% return, and on the yearly chart, this has been the 6 consecutive years of gain. And the broader setup is looking strong, has been trading in a very strong secular uptrend. So, first of all, if somebody is looking to make a fresh investment, then keep a tight stop loss. Purely from a trading perspective, one can enter at current level, and since it is trading in the overbought territory, could be possible you may see some bit of a retracement. So ideally, one should wait for some retracement. That's the level where one can take a fresh entry, and keeping a tight stop loss, as mentioned, one can play the momentum on the upside. So immediately we are expecting a move towards 2600, 2700, and quite possible in next 3 to 4 months kind of time frame, the counter may test levels of 3000 plus as well. But as mentioned, one should keep a tight stop loss, which is as of now coming at 2200, and below that it may test 2000 or 1800 levels as well.
Okay, let's take the next question. This one is from one of our viewers, and this is Arun from Hyderabad. He says, in fact, You know, one of the questions we had already taken before also. Let's try and take some other question in the meanwhile. Jay Shri from Coimbatore asks you on Vari Energies. That's a different one. So coming in on 3054 price is what she's been holding, and she wants to know whether I can average right now on Vari Energies.
My advice would be to not average because the counter is constantly moving sideways as of now. So there is no clear trend. So better stay cautious as of now. You have already bought it at a high level. So the better strategy would be to average on declines, maybe in the range of 2600, 2700. If at all this particular counter corrects, that's the time where one can do the averaging part. But as of now, just wait and watch. And just in case if it breaks above 3200, then we may see further upside on the back of momentum play towards 3600 to 3800.
Okay, we have a question from one of our viewers. Jose from Goa writes in. He says, I want to ask you about ChemCrux, long-term outlook on this stock. Okay, let's pull up this stock. This is ChemCrux Enterprises, I think only listed on the BSE. 88.7 is the current price for ChemCrux Enterprises. The stock has in fact not got a very good structure. If we look at the last 5 days, it's been absolutely choppy. Last 1 month also, downward momentum can be seen. Last 6 months, it peaked at 112 odd levels in February, and it's been downward move since then. But the counter also has very low liquidity. Any suggestion here on ChemCrux Enterprises, Nilesh?
Well, Sakshi, I do not track this particular counter, only BSE Limited, only
Yeah.
listed on BSE Exchange. So we are not taking this particular counter.
Okay, we'll take one last query then, Nilesh. This is Manoj Gupta. He says, I live in Delhi. I need some advice on NHPC. I've been stuck with 500 shares at 89 levels from last 18 months. Even though the stock is also focused on renewable energy PSU space, but there is no movement on this stock on the positive side. So I want to know from the charts perspective, what should I be doing? I've been feeling stuck in this stock for a long time. I can hold for next 1 to 2 years if Nilesh sir advises that there is a big jump possibility.
This particular counter has been a slow mover, and also if you see since 2024, it has not given any return. So it's been almost 2.5 years. The counter is trading exactly at those levels. It used to trade in the year 2024, but now it looks like this time-wise correction may continue for further maybe around 6 to 8 months kind of consolidation we are expecting going forward. Good part is that it has formed a very good base formation in the zone of 73 to 74. So keeping that as a stop loss, yes, you can stay put in this particular counter. In next 1 year kind of time frame, we can expect a gradual uptick maybe towards 95 to 100. So those are the levels we can expect once again the counter to revisit. But for that, you need to hold on for 1 year plus kind of time frame, and also keep a tight stop loss below 73.
Okay, let's take the next query. This one is from Jay from Tirupur. He says, hi Sakshi, this is a great show. Thank you so much, dear Jay, for writing in. He says, Nilesh sir, I'm holding Keynes Technologies at 3,246. Should I hold or exit? What would your advice be? Keynes Tech, and in fact the entire space of electronics manufacturing is in focus today. This is also because we are seeing some government relief coming in on the consumer electronics space. The stock is up by 4 odd percent. Any suggestion on Keynes Tech right now?
Within this particular space of EMS, if you see Dixon Tech, Ember Enterprise, both the counters are doing well. In fact, Case Technology is stuck in a very tight range. Good part is that it bought it at recently at a lower level of 3200 plus. So still in the money. So we can expect some bit of a follow up move on the upside towards 3450 to 3500. Just in case if it closes above 3400, that will be considered as a positive close. Then probably we can expect a move towards 3600 to 4000 as well. So stay put at the current level, keep a tight stop loss, which is coming somewhere around 30 to 50. So that should be your stop loss, and one can hold on in this particular counter from a short term pullback perspective.
Okay, got that. Lastly, if you could help us understand, Nilesh, your own top choice of stocks that you would want to advise to all our viewers. The market is pulling back. We are 180 points higher. Which are the pockets that are looking attractive, especially at the beginning of the earnings season now?
Right. So in fact, if you see the focus is on the broader markets, we have seen a very good rebound in the mid cap and small cap space, and also a couple of large cap counters are doing well. So first of all, the counter that is looking positive is KSL Kalyani Steel Limited, where we have seen a very good breakout from a major falling, multi-month falling trend line. So this particular counter is looking strong. A good volume attraction can also be seen here. So we can expect a move towards 950 to 980 in the short run. Keeping a stop loss below 895, KSL is a buy. Apart from that, another stock that is looking positive is Confi Petro. So Confidence Petroleum, this particular counter on the back of pullback trade looks positive for 76 to 78 on the upside. So one can keep a stop loss below 70, and Confi Pet is something that is looking positive.
All right. Okay. So those are the two top stock ideas that Nilesh has shared. Thank you so much, Nilesh, for being with us and for sharing such wonderful ideas for all our viewers as well. Appreciate your time. And viewers, we are now going to be shifting into the next segment of daily calls now. And we also have another guest joining in. We have now Nilesh Jain, Vice President and Head for Equity Technical Research, Wealth Management, Motilal Oswal, now with us on the program.